guys, Andrew here from MAO Magic with the Joule, another sous vide cooker. We're going to break this video down into a few parts. We're going to unbox it and check out setting it up. We're going to show you how to cook something with it, and then at the end, we're going to do a comparison side-by-side feature-wise of the Innova and the Joule, both the two popular sous vide cookers out there. So first thing you'll notice, this looks really, really nice. It comes in a much smaller box than the Innova, and it is a lot smaller, can easily fit into a drawer. Very simple, stylish design. What I've heard a lot is this is kind of the Apple of sous vide cookers, and you can kind of tell even the plug itself looks very much like the plug of an Apple product. It pretty much looks spot on, and it is all in this just white, clean color, which just looks really nice and doesn't show really scratches or anything else like that. The clip is attached to this model. It does not come off, but it is nice and movable and will allow you to mount this sous vide cooker to the side of your favorite pot or whatever tub you're going to be used to doing your sous vide cooking. So it's really handy, nice and flexible, and not going to give you any issues, and it's relatively small and compact on the side. The top of the unit itself is just a big button, so there's a little depressed spot that you can kind of find, but it clicks. It's a button. It allows you to do things like pair it, turn it off, turn it on, basic things like that. But you'll notice there is no screen, so you cannot really use this without your smartphone. Towards the bottom you have that water outtake valve, and on the bottom is the intake valve. It is also a magnetic foot here, so it is rubber covered in silicone and won't hurt any of your pans because it'll just stick right to the bottom of your pan. So if you have a metal pan that you're using to do your cooking in, you don't actually need to use that clip. It'll just stick to itself and you're good to go. As mentioned, one of the biggest benefits is its compact size. It's one of the smallest ones out there, easily fitting into a drawer instead of having to tuck away somewhere in a cupboard. Also, setting it up is very simple, nice, easy to do, and I absolutely love their app. So we can go ahead and get started. I'm going to put this into a pot here with water. There are water lines letting you know how high or low that water can go. Inside of the app, I'm going to hit that Add New Joule button. It's going to start searching for it. Hit the button at the top, make sure it's blue lighting up, and then it's going to find it on my phone. I can pair it, I can name it. So if I had multiple Joules that I was running at the same time, just some crazy kitchen, it would be really easy to handle. I can easily go in here and put in the temperature, so I can manually set the temperature of the Joule and set a timer. But more fun is to use their recipes. So let's look at a basic pork chop. Okay, so it has these really gorgeous high-def videos that are going to play, and it allows me to choose the temperature of the pork chop. So I want it blue, kind of blue, pink. It tells you what the most popular version is, Mr. Pinkish, and then there's pinkish gray, which is more on the well done side. So I can set that internal temperature not by knowing it offhand, but what I want it to look like. And then I can choose if it's fresh or frozen, and even the thickness of that meat to really give me an accurate cook time on when it's going to be done. No other one I found is quite as good as that, and just easy to get you up and going where you don't have to know. You just kind of follow those instructions and it's perfect. The recipes in here are also just as nice. So you swipe through and it has these little GIF type videos. Okay, you're going to season it. How are you going to season it? What do you do? Okay, we're going to put it in there. How do you put it into the sous vide circulator? Searing it, plating it, even plating styles, they show you, and it looks great. It is very easy to follow, so if you're not a chef or you're not familiar enough with sous vide cooking, this is a great way to get started. It's really nice for like even eggs. You know, you're cooking some poached eggs in there. How runny do you want the center? How runny do you want the outside? You can choose all of that by pictures instead of having to know the internal temperature and time to achieve those results. So kind of as our demo today, I've done steak in the past. This time we're going to do some pork chops, and we're pretty much going to follow along with the recipe that they included in the app. There's a bunch of different recipes in the app and even more online. I really like there's a selection of different recipes that you didn't know that you could do sous vide. For instance, there's like creme brulee. They showed a really cool way of doing creme brulee, and something that I'm definitely going to be trying out here in the future. So if you have not checked through the ChefSteps website, who is the maker of the Joule, you should definitely do it. It's a fantastic website, lots of great cooking advice and videos and recipes. So I've got my 2 bone-in pork chops here. I have some garlic. I'm going to put that on top, nice season. I'm going to put them into this bag. You can just use like a heavier Ziploc bag. I'm going to go ahead and put it into like a vacuum seal bag. So I'm going to throw these in here, run it through my vacuum sealer just to get all of that air out, though you can use the water displacement method where you put into the water, all the air kind of suctions out, and then you seal it just to keep that tight seal. The tighter the seal, the better, so it's going to really get the temperature of the water that's surrounding it. So I'm going to go ahead and let my pork chops cook here in the sous vide circulator. My app is going to give me a timeline, and once those are done, I'm going to drop them into a pan of screaming hot oil. All this is in the recipe from the Joule and the ChefSteps app, so you don't have to worry about exactly what I'm doing here, just kind of a demo of what you can do. I'm just going to throw it in some oil. I'm going to add a little bit of fat, some butter here, and I'm going to use that just to constantly baste my pork chop. And ideally, you're going to have a really nice crust on the outside, a really good sear and some color, and then on the inside is going to be that perfect temperature pretty much all the way through. Normally, had you cook this on a grill, you're going to have a nice good center, but the edges and more going into the middle is going to be more overcooked than what you really want. So this is going to allow you to have more even temperature with just that perfect sear on the outside. And of course, I've paired it with some homemade macaroni and cheese, because what goes better with pork than macaroni and cheese? So I'm going to go ahead and cut out a little wedge here, and you can see the perfect color in this. It really did a great job. It got up to temperature very fast, probably 15 minutes or so maybe, to get the temperature that I needed for this pork chop. And this took maybe about an hour or so to really fully cook that pork chop all the way through. Now, the other popular model out there is the Innova. It's a really great sous vide cooker as well, but it's more utilitarian rather than kind of function and looks in the same package. It is quite a bit larger. I cannot put this into my drawer, so this has to kind of be stored in my pantry, and the attachment, the hook or the anchor, the mount for the side, the clip, is a separate piece that you kind of have to put on. Now, both of these units both have Wi-Fi included as well as Bluetooth, so you can control them also on the go as well as being just at home. When it comes down to it, the Joule is the better product, but they're both great. The Joule is smaller, more powerful, and just looks better. They're both going to get the job done, but if you're looking for the best between the two, definitely go with the Joule, but you can't be wrong going with the Innova. So let us know what you think between the Joule and the Innova down in the comments.